This is a project I've been working on for a week. It is a stylized rendering of a three-dimensional space. This three-dimensional space is rendered in Blender using a real-time render engine called Blender Eevee. In this scene, I practiced NPR shading and NPR rendering. NPR rendering and shading is a form of 3D rendering that commonly takes place in a real-time environment. NPR stands for non-photorealistic rendering, as it usually means that the render is otherwise cartoonish or abstract rather than being a realistic scene. This is a short demonstration clip about how modifiers can affect the shading and appearance of the object, on top of the stylistic rendering. This is a modifier that adds a thick line to the edge of the mesh to add a traced effect. The base mesh is subdivided, meaning to make it more detailed. Then I added a displacement effect that is added to create procedural deformation across the base mesh. There is an alternative solution to the outer line calculated using the index of refraction or the IOR of the object. Basically, this scene is comprised of multiple objects in a 3D space. Each object is being updated in real time in this rendering engine called Eevee. The way each image or texture is projected onto each individual object is through a net system that is like an unwrap of any 3D object you have. And this subsequent image is projected onto this object. So if we look back at the demonstration animation and we shade each face individually rather than the whole of the object all at once, we can see how each face is calculated as its own sort of object. Now it's much easier to understand how the shading works in tandem with the unwrapped 3D object and the modifiers previously discussed.